Hey, it's Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More. I hope you've had a great day. We have had a little downtime this afternoon, so it's kind of been nice. Okay, I always like to check and make sure everything looks all right before I jump in. And then that way, hopefully, I don't get text messages, people going, there are issues. So hopefully, no text messages tonight. But I am very grateful for those who text message me and let me know when things are not exactly going right. Okay, so um I have a hey Miss Terry, how are you today? I have in front of me a little pumpkin. He's about 8 inches from the tip of his stem down to the bottom. And so, what I'm going to do with this little pumpkin, I'm actually going to do this in two parts. I am going to paint my pumpkin tonight, but the next week I haven't done this on a live before, and I thought, you know what, this might be kind of neat. It's a small enough piece where it won't be extremely involved. So next week, I'm going to work on doing resin on this piece. So we're going to do this in two parts. So we're going to paint it this week, and then next week, what I'm going to do, I am going to pull out my resin and my shattered glass pieces and my little glitter glass pieces and all the things that I use for for doing the broken glass collection. If you've heard me talk about that, that's where I do pieces that are 14, 15 inches, and that is indoor decor. So it works well in entryways, in tables, bookcases, even in the kitchen. But with the broken pieces collection, what I do is I take a portion of my sales and I make donations to one of three organizations in my area that work with families and with kids. And it's called the Broken Pieces Collection because of working with broken families. So that's how that all came to be. Oh, there they are. I was like, I know I have some baby wipes around here somewhere. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Well, Miss Terry, I'm glad you are good. I am doing well. The afternoon has been kind of quiet, and so we hadn't had a whole bunch of busy stuff going on today, so it's been kind of nice. And what have I been up to? Oh my goodness. Yes, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on around the crafting table. Well, let's see. Right now we have a t-shirt drop going on. So, and I didn't wear it tonight. Cried. I'm in the whole, holiday weekend thing with my red, white, and blue and all that good stuff. I didn't wear my t-shirt. It's a fall t-shirt. It's a t-shirt drop right now that I've got going. I decided to do this one for a week. I've only been doing weekends because I didn't want to get overwhelmed with a large number. But as you get a little more relaxed in what you're doing, then you can add on. So I'm actually doing this one for a week. So it started last Thursday, I think, and so I think I'm taking it either till Thursday or Friday. We'll see. And so I'm taking what I do is I do pre-orders because I don't have a lot of space to keep inventory of t-shirts. Everyone pretty much has a t-shirt drawer. Well, if you take the t-shirt drawer and you just kind of multiply it by about 3 or 4, then you have what usually transpires as a t-shirt inventory for on the light side. Now, there are some people that I know in the t-shirt business that have, like, ooh, 40 or 50 t-shirt drawer type situations going on in their inventory, which is awesome because that means you can do pretty much anything you wanna do whenever it's ordered, but I do not have that space right now. That's, one thing that I am, uh, hoping and praying we can do in 2023 is, um, get some more space. So, you know, that's always the thing. We always want more space, don't we? Which I wanna do some cleaning out. I need to do some, probably after the first of the year. It's kinda hard to do in fall because when you're a crafty person and you have a crafty business, fall and Christmas are your biggest times. And so usually January, things slow way down, and that's when you usually catch your breath. So I'm hoping January, February, I can get some things kind of reshuffled, around my house and hopefully kind of repurpose some things and maybe maybe change out some things. Sometimes you have to get rid of some organizational things in order to bring in something that'll better suit your needs. So I'm hoping that'll work. But besides the t-shirt drop, I've had some mugs. I've shown some new mugs on the Facebook page, and I've had orders for mugs, and haven't done any tumblers this week. I think we're making that transition. I do have some that are coming in. I know a few that are coming for Christmas gifts and whatnot, but I think I'm beginning to see that transition where we're going from summertime drinkware to the more fall and Christmas drinkware. So I figure mugs are just going to pick up pace a little bit. But hey, that's wonderful. I have gotten into making mugs and I actually enjoy that. So we're going to have a good time with that one too. I still like doing tumblers. They're a lot of fun as well. So other things I've been up to, we in the southern part of Alabama, we've had a lot of rain this summer, and so we have had quite a few hiccups in trying to get just get wood and get it picked up, and also getting things cut out when you have to properly ventilate. You can't just shut yourself up into an enclosed space and cut. You have to have good ventilation, so that means opening windows and doors, and when it's storming outside, it's a little hard to do. So we're trying this week, hoping and praying we're going to get caught up on some door hanger orders. And I've posted, I've talked to people, I've posted an email how much I appreciate everybody being patient with me. I cannot control the weather, but I'm hoping that maybe we can get some things accomplished this week and get some things off the checklist. So that'll be a good thing to do. All right, so our pumpkin here, it's just a little pumpkin. He's only 8 inches, like I said. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint him this week. Then next week I'm going to come back and I'm going to do. I know y'all have heard me talk about resin and glass, and you've probably seen some of the things that others have done with resin and glass. Speaking of which, I posted a picture of this, and I actually painted this on the live. Y'all may remember. This one was not terribly long ago. This is the little seashore. You can see how the ring lights are bouncing off of it. Well, it's got the resin on it. Well, I'll hold it up a little closer. You can see this is glass. This is just pieces of glass. And there's some pieces here. And then these are little bitty, what they call glitter glass. It's just really, really small pieces of glass that are just a little bit bigger than your chunky glitter. And I also used what they call Snow Tech, which is a really cool texture that I actually use a lot in the wintertime for the snow. But I thought it would be so cool to have it along the edge of the water for this particular one. So this is the resin and glass technique. And what I'm going to do next week, since this is a small piece, because this usually takes a while. I mean, this is a 14-inch piece. It takes a little while to do the glass and the resin. But with this one being a small one, I think I can get it in and show y'all how that works on a smaller piece. So, all right, I'm gonna put him back in my stand. And I've done quite a few of those. Um, I had, I think 4 that I took to a craft show last year and sold all 4 pieces 3 of them were Christmas 2, 3? 2 or 3 of them were Christmas, and then, 1 was fall, and I sold all of them. And then I had some ornaments that I did on a smaller scale, and I sold those at a Christmas fair, uh, in December. So, they're really pretty. The resin just takes a little while, and you have to stir, and so that's why I'm doing this in 2 parts. I'm gonna have to build a room. I need, like, 4 rooms, but don't tell my husband that. Yes, I probably need about 4 rooms. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I've base coated the front and the back of this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out with my orange. This one is spiced pumpkin. A lot of the time we use canyon orange on pumpkins, and sometimes I use the regular pumpkin color. It depends on, like, if I've got stacked pumpkins, I'll change up the different oranges a little bit, but this one, I am going to use my, oh, that's an angled brush. I didn't want an angled brush. I grabbed the wrong one. Okay. We'll go with this one. I'm not gonna get very big brushes since this is not a very big piece, but I'm just gonna start with my spiced pumpkin, and what I'm gonna do is just coat my pumpkin. And then, there's my chalk. I was like, "Oh, did I move my chalk from over here? Nope, I've got it over here. Good deal." That's another thing that I need to do. So many times I get in the midst of doing projects and stuff, and sometimes I will move some of my supplies, and then when I need them, they're not exactly where they're supposed to be. I did clean up a lot of my paints, which I'm not in the view. I stayed with the closer view today so that way you can see this little pumpkin. But I did clean up a lot of my paints that were all over the place here a few weeks ago. So as far as this weekend goes, didn't really have any big plans. Just kind of been catching our breath some. Just trying to think if I even left the house yesterday. I don't think I even left the house yesterday. Oh, you got a cricket mate. Oh, cool. I actually am getting ready to make an attempt at, speaking of cricket, I am getting ready to make an attempt to do stickers on my cricket. I have watched different ones with the die cut stickers, and I got to watching a couple of tutorials on die cut stickers, and I am going to make an attempt at that. So I have ordered some sticker paper. We'll see how that turns out. I know it's so I don't know. I understand what you mean, Terry. You haven't found the time to play with it yet. It's like you get really excited about getting a piece of equipment or something, and then you get I don't know, you get I guess back in the real in the swing of life, and it just kind of you're like, oh my gosh, it's still sitting here. I haven't even had time to play with it, and so. But I'm one of those that on holiday weekends when you really should, kind of sort of be maybe relaxing and resting, I'm playing with stuff. Hey, Amber, you need to get one of my door hangers for your house. Oh, your door is blah. Oh, well, you will have to look through some of the fall stuff, or I will tell you that um, Christmas stuff will be out really soon. But I have some Halloween and some fall stuff that you can look through. If you go to the website, you can go through the shop and look at the pictures. That's probably the quickest way to see all the pictures and find it quickly in the category. I'm going to have to get tumblers from you for girls, teachers. Oh, yeah, I've got, and family functions. Yeah, you'll have to get with me. I've got several teacher ones. Um, Matter of fact, it was so crazy this year. I mean, school just I don't know. School was just here before I blinked good. I don't know what happened to the summer. I think I was still at the end of May when it was August 1st mentally. I don't know. But I actually purchased a bunch of designs for like t-shirts that have like the grade. And I thought, great. I just purchased this. School starts in 2 days. I'm like, I can't do any of this for people to have for their kids for the first day of school. A scarecrow porch. Oh, a scarecrow porch leaner. Oh, wow, Terry. I'd like to see that. Is it one is it like one of the reversible ones? I know they have one that um the hat, if you flip it around, it becomes the snowman. Are you doing something like that or is it just a regular leaner and you're just doing the scarecrow? I have not done Oh, you'll post tomorrow. Oh, goody, goody. Anyway, Amber, I forgot to give you the web address. It's quiltedtreasuresandmore.com. You have to spell it all out. Um, they wouldn't let me put the little and sign in a website. So, but if you go to quiltedtreasuresandmore.com and just click on the shop, it's up in the top menu bar, click on shop, you can scroll through all the pictures and then you can just send me a description or a screenshot or something when you look through there. And we will get your front door taken care of, girly. Just regular. Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know if you were gonna do like porch leaner for fall and then something else for Christmas. I don't mind the double-sided stuff, but part of me is kind of like, oh, but I really want to change the look. Okay, so there is our pumpkin stem. Let me turn you back around here where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got my pumpkin in the orange, and this is spiced orange. So it's a little bit darker than the regular pumpkin. So I'd use dark chocolate for the stem. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to let that dark chocolate dry pretty good because it's going to need another coat definitely. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take chalk. Here's my chalk. I like to use chalk whenever I'm drawing my lines. I have used pencils in the past. The only problem with pencils is sometimes I don't paint over them well enough, I guess, and you can kind of see through them. But with the chalk, even if it still shows through after it's dried, you can just take a baby wipe and wipe it off. So I kind of like doing the chalk, and I have not brought my my little blow dryer back in here from when I was doing resin here a few weeks ago. So we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. I need one of Miss Pam's fans. Um, there was a workshop that was going on in Dallas, and she had donated a bunch of hand fans for everybody to fan their stuff because we couldn't, they couldn't do all the blow dryers in the facility. So I'm like, ooh, hey, that's working pretty good. That may work better than my hand dryer. Don't tell the company I said that. That worked pretty good. I was testing out new paint pens, y'all. I got I usually use the Posca, and this is I think it's pronounced Artistro. I think Miss Tamara's been using them. Terry, you can correct me on that if you know for sure. I think she's been using them. All right, so now then, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw my pumpkin lines because I didn't have them pre-drawn on here. So I'm just going to draw my pumpkin lines just lightly. Oh, I messed him up. That's the other nice thing. If you mess it up, it's not like it's set in stone. You just kind of take your baby wipe and just kind of lightly run over it, and it's gone. Okay, now I've got to come up. Oh, there and there. Maybe I should have done to there. Oh, no, that one went there. That one's there. Really? I'm only gonna have 3? That can't be. I can't have just 3 pumpkin lines. Alright, these pumpkin lines may not be right along with the that doesn't seem right either, though. I've always had the pumpkin lines follow along with the creases, but maybe not. Maybe we'll do more of here and then one on this side. There we go. I finally found the part of the chalk that's gonna actually draw. It's also very easy to erase the chalk lines and put it wherever. Like, oh, I don't like that one. Oh, I don't like that one. Okay, let's change it. Okay, I think I like that better. I'll hold it up where you can see. All right, let me catch up on my stuff here. I can paint on the back too, but it don't have well, and you can always with the snowman, you can always put a hat or a partial hat on on the porch leaner, or you could just take a regular winter hat, toboggan, beanie, whatever, whatever it's called in your area, and slip it over the top of the porch leaner, and that would be cute too. That would be different. So you could do that, or you could actually cut a hat out separate, and you could attach it with some of the heavy commercial or industrial Velcro. That would work too. So that would be a few different ideas that would make it different looking. It wouldn't look the same front and back. Okay, now that we have our lines drawn, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of some different colors. I'm gonna use a little bit of burnt sienna and a little bit of what's called deep ochre. And I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna put my lines in, but I'm also gonna create some shading um, on my pumpkin. And then I do have honey brown that I want to use just a little bit, and I'm kind of going back and forth. I thought about honey brown, but I may, instead of honey brown, I may actually put just a drop of white into my dark chocolate since I've still got some left, and which I still have to do the second coat. But um, I may do a little bit of white and lighten up the dark chocolate just a little bit, and do some shading there. All right, so let me grab my shading brush. Did I just put that one up, or no, I put the bigger one up. So let me find my smaller one. I don't need the big one. Let me move the water before I knock it off. I can see that happening. I did actually do that in one of my lives, but it was not my drinking water. It was actually the water that my brushes were in. I had like this much water left to rinse my brushes out. And what was crazy is the way the camera was situated, nobody knew that I had spilt the water. But the water ran off the table and all down one leg. And so I I painted with wet pants and, I had to fight to keep the dog from trying to drink up the paint water off the floor. Fun times behind the scenes that y'all don't know about. Oh, you saw my picture with the horse? Yes, that was one of the Clydesdales, one of the Budweisers. We surprised my daughter, here. It was before all the COVID stuff. They were part of, a parade, a Christmas parade in Mississippi, and so we surprised her, and they were housing them at one of the fairgrounds. I can't remember. It may have been George County Fairgrounds. I can't remember. Anyway, they were housing them at one of the fairgrounds. And so we got up Saturday morning, Friday morning, something like that, and just took off and went to Mississippi. Didn't tell her what we were doing. And so we get there, and it took her a few minutes, but she was like, "Oh my gosh, there's horses." And then she was like, "Oh, it's Clydesdales." Well, then she saw the big truck and she was like, "Oh my gosh." So we had a really good time. Oh, they are so tall. They were exercising them when we got there. So we got to stand around and watch them walk. And then we got to watch them as they went in and went through the grooming process, getting ready for the parade. And you got to go from stall to stall and read the names and all about their, when they were born. And it was super cool. But yeah, it was funny because I was looking for a picture of me painting that I could post. I ran across that one instead, and I was like, "Oh, hey, we'll just post this one." All right. So what I'm doing right now is I got a little bit of orange on my brush, and I got just a little bit of burnt sienna on the other. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. I was like, I may have gotten too much water in this brush, but I think it's thinning out now. So okay. So you can see a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm just creating my line, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighting with the ochre color. Sometimes I have to go through twice when I'm doing my shading. I wish I had reached the point where I could do this in one deal, but a lot of times it takes me a couple of times to get the shading the way I want it. Also depends on how much water my brush seems to be holding after I rinse it. Some of my brushes still hold water even though I've rinsed them and blotted them. And I've used the flat brush, just a flat tip brush for shading. This one is actually an angled tip. Oops, sorry, angled tip. All right, I'm gonna flip this around because I have a hard time going the other way when shading. It's crazy enough getting it to look the way I want it going one way, but when I have to flip my hand around backwards, I tend to make issues worse. And then rather going over it twice, I end up going over it 3 or 4 times trying to make it look like I want it to look. Okay, so you can see the lines start to take shape. the detail of where the pumpkins kinda has its division points or its variations to the pumpkin. I feel like I'm forgetting a color there. I don't know. No, there's just the 3 colors, right? There should just be the 3 colors. I'm debating on whether to put the darker on the outside or just let it go with the lighter color. I don't know. I may do let me see. I have actually done that both ways. I have done it with the darker to shade, and then I've also used the lighter color. And then I've had some colors that just give me fits when I'm trying to shade, and I don't know why. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I may come back and change that up a little. We'll see. By the time you get the outlining on it and all, it a lot of the things that stand out tend to fade away. So we shall see. I almost made that into a tongue twister. Okay, so there we go. Do you use the Cricut to make tumblers? I have not. Um, I did not. Um, well, let me think. I did some canned koozies with that hold the your 12-ounce cans. I did some of those with the Cricut where I put designs on the outs on the stainless steel koozies. I actually did do or I actually did I actually did do I actually did make a couple of the Ozark Mountain stainless steel cups with vinyl and the Cricut. I did do a couple of those, but, the tumblers I do now are, with sublimation ink, and so they're a totally different process, but, I did do a couple of the I probably did, oh my gosh, I don't remember how many stainless steel, uh, can koozies I did, because I did some of those for Christmas gifts, and then I sold a few of them. And then the taller ones, I never really I gave those for gifts. I never really got into selling any of those. But I think by the time I got into that, some people were beginning to do the, epoxy, glitter tumblers, and cups, and so people were moving into that phase. So I kinda missed the boat on that one. But it was okay. My Cricut has had some interesting jobs. it has not done the norm. About the time I get started in one thing that is kind of the fad, it goes away, something else comes, and but I've ended up using my Cricut for a lot of different. I'll tell you where I use my Cricut the most, and it's with my kids' art online art club. I have cut out and done so many things for the online kids art club that I have that it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So it has paid for itself in that aspect. And now I'm thinking about doing stickers. And if I do the stickers, um, then that'll be something totally different that I never thought about doing with the Cricut before. So I think that's going to be cool. Watching a new, I've been watching a new lady. She highlights with us really stencil dry brush technique. Wow. That sounds really cool. I'm trying to picture how she would do that because 'cause I've got stencil brushes sitting here and I'm like, "Hmm." Alright, so I am gonna share this little, cup here that I used a few minutes ago for the, burnt sienna. I'm just gonna stick actually, that's way more drops than I needed, but we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna put some deep ochre in there. I'm gonna get myself a little bit more orange, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do some highlighting with the, deep ochre. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. I dip part of my brush in the orange and the very tip, which I got a little more than the tip, but the tip of it in the ochre. And then sometimes I'll do the back side and sometimes I'll come and do the front side. It kind of depends. Um, right now I'm gonna start up here and gonna put a little bit up here at the top just to give it a little highlight on the top here. And I'm gonna do it on the bottom. Not gonna do a whole lot. I'm actually gonna dip even less for the bottom. But I'm just kinda making it look like it's got a little bit of just lightened edges to it. I'm gonna come up underneath the stem and just kinda do some there. Give it a little bit of a variation right there at the stem, and then I'm gonna come here to that area and then maybe a little bit over here. I know I did the brown or the brown, the burnt sienna on this side, but I'm gonna come back and do just a little bit of the ochre color. And then I'm gonna do just a little bit here on the bottom. And then I'm gonna do on just the other side of it. So that's gonna get about just a little bit of a different shaded look, but I can also come to the inside and then it'll make both sides look like it's got a little bit of, like the sun bleached it out just a little more on those areas. Put just a tad of paint on the brush, then rub it off on a paper towel, then rub on the project, almost like stenciling. Hmm. So it's a very dry, so it's a dry brush technique that she's using, but she's doing it with a stencil brush instead of a regular brush. That's interesting. I may have to give that a try. All right, so this next one here, I'm gonna kind of turn my brush in even further and I'm gonna just make this come even closer to this darker kind of doing this opposite of what I usually do, but I wanted to see what it looked like. And here in the middle, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in a little bit and I'm going to add it just a little bit on the inside, on this side, and then I'm going to turn it around and do a little bit on the inside of the other one here. Sometimes if I get it too dark or I think it's too bold, I'll go back over it with some orange, and then that way it kind of lightens it up a little bit. Sometimes you can thin things out with a little bit of water, but usually by the time I get to this point in a project, I'd much rather just go over it with the base color, like the orange, rather than trying to. Now I'm just going to kind of connect the two, just kind of make it look like it goes around right there by the stem. I know it's upside down, but you can see right there, right around the stem where I've kind of connected that. And you can kind of see where it looks like it's been just a little discolored, maybe from the sun. Just give it a little bit of a lighter color. Oh, I will have to look her up. Oh, yes, please tag me. Yes, please, 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 please tag me. So that particular technique is done by I'm gonna go for Yvette. I know sometimes people do that different, but I'm gonna go for Yvette, and she's with old time paint, old time paint parties. Oh, cool. I will have to check that out. I may find a way that is easier for me to actually do some of the shading and stuff, so that would be neat. I say a way to be easier. It's not so much that I always look for the easy way to do things. It's just for me, I have a certain um, I call it quality control, a certain standard where I'm looking for when I'm doing things, and sometimes my husband will tell you I'm not the easiest person to work with because I will go, no, 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 that doesn't look right, or that's not going to work. It needs to be recut, or it needs to be readjusted, and you can just see the look. Oh, the scarecrow you did was her design. Oh, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the scarecrow. Are you going to post that in the clubhouse? Now I'm really being nosy. Where are you going to post it at? Okay. Oh, I just realized I did those two on the inside. Did that one and that one on the outside. I did those two on the inside. Oh, good grief. It's okay. This pumpkin has variety in his life. What can I say? Oh my goodness. Okay. I think y'all can see probably where I've done the lighter color. And I did do it on the inside on this side. On this side, I did it on the outside. It's the way he's sitting, the sun hit different areas, you know. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Oh, goodness gracious me. All right, I'm going to do this stem and then I'm going to do just a little bit more and we will wrap this one up and next week I will finish it up. Going to site now to see what you have. All right, quiltedtreasuresandmore.com. Just remember to spell out every word. That's the thing. If you put the and sign in there, it's not going to find me because it wouldn't let me use the and sign. I use the and sign and everything else, but it wouldn't let me do that for the website. So I actually had to spell that word out. Okay, I'm going to try this with the honey brown and see what I think. Let's see what it looks like when I add a little bit of shading from the honey brown onto my and all I'm doing is just putting a little bit of a lighter coat or a lighter shadow around the edge, and I'm gonna leave the middle part of it dark. So there you can see. Just gives it a little bit of a faded look around the edge. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I've got my new pens here, and I'm gonna play with them for a minute. And I'm just gonna go and add a few details, and then we will did you see Erica Wallace's apples? Yes, I did. I saw that. Thank you for tagging me. I appreciate that very much. Because I guess I'm gonna have to go. I'm still following her page, but I have not, I kid you not, I have not seen anything from Erica in forever. And so I guess I'm just gonna have to go through and just like a whole bunch of stuff to make it show back up. And that frustrates me so bad. All right, I have 2 colors here. I have a gold. I may do that on the middle stripes. Let's do that and see how it looks. Let's do that. I'm gonna do the black on the edge. So I'm just gonna do a quick deal around the edge here. Now I'm not even really gonna connect them all. I'm just gonna bring them up. And then I am gonna go over this one up here though. Just a little bit. All right, now I have a gold one here. I saw this and I was like, ooh, this might look really cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring the gold in here and I'm gonna use the gold right here. Just to add a little bit of shine and shimmer to my pumpkin. Of course, once I start adding glass next week, this may all change the look, but in this particular step, this is where we're going to go with this one. All right, I did have an orange here, but I'm like, I don't really want to put orange on anything. I'm going to add a few highlights, just a few here and a few there. Even with the gold. Oop, forgot one. All right, so there's our pumpkin for this week. I'll hold him up closer and you can see what he looks like. Maybe I should have added one more white on the stem. He looks kind of plain. All right. Like I said, some of this is going to get covered up next week when I do the glass. So we'll see what stays and what shows through. The gold pops. Yes, it does. I like the way that stands out. So next week, I'll have all my little shattered glass here on the table with me. And what I'll do is I will add that in, and then I'll mix up my resin and I will pour the resin on top. Like I said, with this being a smaller piece, hopefully we can get it in the time frame, uh, and we won't, be here all night. So, well, I hope y'all have a great week and enjoy your day tomorrow. And I will be posting things throughout the week. Of course, I won't be posting this week because we'll finish it up next week. But um, I have done some things in 2 parts before, and so I haven't done that in a while, and I thought, "Well, this one might be a good one to do." So, this one's actually I haven't really done a whole lot of fall decor at my house, so this one, because it's an 8-inch piece and it's so tiny, I'm gonna use it in my stuff, but, 14-inch pieces, even 12-inch pieces are really good in this size to put, like, on your entryway tables, on shelves, bookcases, even in the kitchen. And I usually display it either on a plate stand or even just a wooden easel. So I enjoy the easel art or the resin pieces displayed that way. All right, well, have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next time.